Good afternoon and welcome to the Balance of Life. I am Elder Angel Ferguson and I thank you so very much for joining us today. Truly, we are excited to be in the presence of the Lord, and we thank you so very much for taking time out of your schedule to spend just a few minutes with us. We invite each and every one of you to stay tuned and connected. Visit us on our website, angelfergusonsministries.simplesite.com. Via the website, you have the opportunity to check out our ministry schedule, our bookstore, Motivation That Inspires, Hope and Truth magazine, our publishing division, the School of Ministry and Mentoring program, as well as our Learning Lab. Once again, that is angelfergusonsministries.simplesite.com. And of course, we invite each and every one of you to become partners in prayer with us. There is no financial obligation to become partners in prayer with us. Only thing it takes is that you send us an email. That's right, that's all it takes. Email us at afergusonwrp@yahoo.com. Our Partners in Prayer is a day of intercessory prayer every Tuesday. We here at the Balance of Life, we labor in prayer over your prayer request, whether it's for you, your family, your ministries. As we are connected as partners, we go before God on your behalf. Once again, Partners in Prayer every Tuesday. Email us today at afergusonwrp, subject Partners in Prayer, and that's all it takes. On yesterday, we started a series that I'm so excited about. We're talking about the Land of Goshen. That's right, the Land of Goshen. We're talking about the place where God sent his servant to be developed. And we have been over in Genesis, the 45th chapter. And it started long before then. History indicates that when Joseph's brothers put him in the pit because of jealousy, after he had dreamed visions of his brethren serving him, and he shared those dreams with his brethren and even with his father, they became so upset with him, for a better lack of terms, and they put him into the pit. And then they sold him, and he was sold to one of the servants of the Pharaoh. And during a course of time, and he met some prehaps and some circumstances, and he became a ruler for Pharaoh himself. And as I was looking at this and reading after Bible study last night, we did teach a portion of the Land of Goshen on radio yesterday. We introduced it and taught it during Bible study at Faith Outreach Deliverance Church here in Bridgeton, New Jersey. I came home and I began to read. It's something about the hunger and thirst after Christ, and so I went further back. Joseph went through stages of development, and that's where we are. We go through stages of development, from his birth through the time of what he went through with his brethren, to being put in the pit, to being sold, to finding, I shouldn't say finding, but being employed, and then being cast into prison. Those were stages of development. And so we come to this place, the Land of Goshen, where he had access to when his father and brethren came to Egypt because of the famine in the land. And it had been prophesied by Joseph to the Pharaoh what would happen during the course of time, 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. And now that the famine was 2 years in, his father, Jacob, renamed by God of Israel, sent his sons to Egypt to buy bread. And when they came, Joseph recognized his brothers. And he eventually gave instructions to bring the father and the brethren, and they were to dwell and live in the land of Goshen. Now, Goshen was a part of Egypt. It was a very good land. They needed that portion of land for their flock. And also, upon some reading and study, Goshen was absolutely beautiful, and I love the way that God, although He sent them to this place to be developed, He set them in a place to be separated from amongst the others. Isn't that absolutely awesome? And so, looking over at Genesis, the 46th chapter, it says, And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and ordered sacrifices unto the God of his father. And God spake unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here am I. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I am there. For I will there make of thee a nation. And so going into Egypt, it was about 70, 75 persons that went in. But they came out a nation. It was a place that they would be developed. And so I say to you today, where are you? Sometimes I ask the students from the School of Ministry, where are you? I'm not talking about your physical place. I'm talking about your spiritual place. Have you recognized, or have you accepted the fact that where you are in a place of development? We all need to be in a place of development. And when we return, we're going to take a look at some benefits of being in this place of Goshen. We'll be back in just a moment. If you're in the Tampa Bay area and you are looking for a place of worship, we'd like to invite you to True Life Community Worship Center. The address is 7402 North 56th Street, Building 600, Tampa, Florida 33617. The leaders of this house are Senior Pastor Calvin Green and Pastor Angela Green. Once again, that is True Life Community Worship Center. If you have just tuned in, you have tuned into The Balance of Life, and I thank you so very much for joining us today. We thank each and every one of you for being a part of our listening as well as our viewing audience. And if you would like to tune in to the visual portion of The Balance of Life, please visit our YouTube channel, The Balance of Life with Angel Ferguson. You can also visit us via vyloud.com. Just look for The Balance of Life. And coming soon, you will have the opportunity to tune in to The Balance of Life via the Roku network. That's right. You will soon have the opportunity to tune in to The Balance of Life for our regular scheduled programming via the Roku broadcasting. I'm super excited to introduce that portion of The Balance of Life. We've been talking about Goshen, the land of Goshen, a place to be developed. And on last night in Bible study, we gave the example of the stages of development being compared to going to school. And when we're in school, when we're in a certain grade, we must learn the fundamentals of that particular grade. Now, at the beginning of the school year, we are given a review test to understand where we are so that our instructors and our teachers will know that we can comprehend what we're about to go into. And so uh, we must first get a comprehension of where we are, learn the fundamentals so that we can go to the next level. But throughout the course of the school year, we are given tools to help in our development. Now, uh, on last week, we shared with you uh, overcoming the spirit of sabotage. Now, uh, we also provided you with Daniel, the 9th chapter, where Daniel had a vision. And Daniel prayed for an understanding. And he went into supplication and asking for forgiveness of sins. And so Gabriel was sent unto him to give him skill and understanding. That is another word for being in a place of development. God, when he gives us a vision, when he gives us a word of prophecy to help us to understand the true word of God, he will also give us skill and he will give us understanding. And so we are all at one point within our lives in a place of development. We have to be developed in order to operate and to walk in the fullness of God. That is also coming unto spiritual maturity. And so this land of Goshen, that's what it was for this family. Because, see, they went in of a number of 70, 75, but when they came upon the Exodus and ready to leave, they were now a fortified nation. They have been developed. We do have the understanding that when we talk about the Exodus, we look at the plagues that they went through and the hardship. But God sent them to this place to develop them. And so, my beloved, God has sent you into a specific place to develop you. Now, going back to grades in schools, if we cannot comprehend, if we cannot develop in the grade level that we're in, that teacher is not supposed to pass us to the next grade. We need to be developed. And so periodically, within the 9 weeks period of time, I believe I've been out of school for so long, and so have my children, but each 9-week period, we get a report card. You receive a report card that discusses your progress. Also, periodically, you get a mid 9-week review to find out where you are. Now let's look at that in the spiritual realm. Once you have gone into a certain grade, and you've gone over some things and you have submitted yourself to the will of God, I encourage you to get into your word, pray, seek his face, humble himself, follow the voice of the Holy Spirit. Begin to review where you are. Are you being developed? And I'm talking about our attitudes and our character, our demeanor, our conversation, our walk. Is it lining up with your spirit, man? You can be a powerhouse in the spirit, but other areas in your life are lacking development, my God. And so Goshen is a place of development. We are coming to our time for today. We will resume our regular schedule as we will return back to Tampa on next week. But we will keep you up to date with our ministry schedule. You know our motto here, I absolutely love you. Stay encouraged, encouraging others along the way, and find your place of Goshen. Have a blessed day.